One way to work faster in Excel is to use the shortcuts that are available, and in this video I will show you my top 10 shortcuts that I use all the time in Microsoft Excel. The first one is Ctrl A, and that will select everything. That means that if you're in a matrix, if you select this cell and press Ctrl A, you will select the entire matrix. But if you stand outside in a random cell and press Ctrl A, you'll select all these cells in the entire sheet. I usually use this when I want to auto adjust the column width. Then I press on Ctrl A 2 times and then Alt HOI, or if you use the quick access toolbar, Alt plus the number. I press Ctrl A 2 times and then Alt, and then you see 3. And then I will auto adjust the column width for all my columns. Another great thing about the shortcuts are that they also works in Windows and pretty much anywhere else. If you Ctrl A in a PDF, in a Word file, or just in the Explorer, you will select everything. Next up is the Ctrl plus and Ctrl minus that let you remove or add a column or some cells. If you select an entire column, press Ctrl plus, then you add a column, Ctrl minus, then you remove a column. If you just select a couple of cells, press Ctrl plus, then Excel will ask you, do you want to move these 4 cells to the right or downwards? And in this case, it's of course down. And I usually use this when I want to move one column to another place. For example, if you want to move the total, then you press on Ctrl X to cut it, and then select the column where you want to move it to, and then Ctrl plus to move it. The third shortcut is the F4 key, and this could be used in 2 different ways. Either you could use it to switch between relative and absolute references. Let's make a reference to A1. If you press on F4, you will get absolute references on both the column and the row. F4 again, just the row. F4 again, just the column. And then you're back to fully relative references. Also, if you do something in Excel and you want to repeat that action, you can do that with F4. For example, if you color this cell with yellow and you go and select another cell, you can just press on F4 to also make that cell yellow as well. And that works pretty well, but not perfect all the time. Then we have one of my definitely favorite. It also works in the Explorer when you want to select a file, and that is to use the F2 key to go into edit mode in that cell. Let's say you want to edit a formula. If you just go to the cell and try to change something, you will change the entire value. But if you press on F4, let's select this cell, F4, then you go into edit mode, and here you can use the keyboard to do your changes. And then we have perhaps the most common one, that's Control Z to undo what you just did. If you press on it multiple times, you will undo multiple steps. What you need to keep in mind is that if you use a macro, if you run a macro, you cannot undo that. You can't undo previous steps that you did before you run the macro. Then we have another of my favorites, that's Ctrl Alt V to open up the paste special menu. For example, let's say you want to change a positive number to negative. For example, 1, 2, 3 here to negative numbers. All you need to do is to write -1, copy that cell, select the other cells, Ctrl Alt V to open up this paste special box, and here you could multiply. That means that you multiply the value -1 with all of these cells that you've selected. You also have some other options. For example, if you only want to paste the values, not what the formula says, but the values that the formula returns, or if you want to transpose, meaning instead of having them in different rows, you have them in different columns. The next shortcut is Ctrl Shift, and then you press on either number 1 or number 5 on your keyboard. With number 5, you will change the format of the selected cells to be a number format with 2 decimals and 1,000 separator. For example, if this value is 10,000, it looks quite bad. Let's press on Ctrl Shift and 1, and now it will be in a better number format with 2 decimals. And here in the home ribbon and in this box here, you can easily decrease the decimals. With Ctrl Shift and number 5, you will change the format to be percentage. The 7th shortcut is the Ctrl Shift and L, which will set filters to your rows. Let's say you stand here in the data, Ctrl Shift L. Here you have this filter option. If you use filter a lot, then this shortcut will be gold. If you work a lot with different sheets, then the 9th shortcut will be very good for you, and that is Control and page up and down, which lets you scroll between sheets. For example, if I hold the Control button and press on Control down, I will go 1 step to the right. Control down, 1 to the right, left with Control page up and Control page up. Also, a hack is that you can right-click here on these arrows to open up a box with all the sheets and just click on the sheet you want to activate. And also, if you have a lot of sheets and you can't see them all, you can hold the Control button and press on these arrows to go to the furthest right and the furthest left. And perhaps sometimes the best shortcut is the Ctrl E that senses a pattern and try to fill it. For example, if I want to get the 3 first letters, I just write STR, go to the cell below and press Ctrl E, and it will sense a pattern and try to replicate it. But be a bit careful, it is very good, but sometimes it senses false patterns and will not fill as you wanted. So be very careful with that one. And that's all the 10 shortcuts that I use all the time. Follow this channel for more tips and tricks in Excel.